Welcome to the challenge round. Lance looks like some sort of evil, mad scientist. Lance Dreher here. This is a good challenge round we have today, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dreher is going up against Steve Michalik. Steve, much bigger of a man structurally, but he doesn't come close to Lance Dreher as far as the muscularity is concerned. Lance, I believe, a little bit better condition as well, so head and shoulders above Steve in this one. Gets the Duke here in the front relaxed. Now let's have a look at the front double bicep poses of these two gentlemen. And I believe Lance Dreher will be walking away with his second point in a row. It is 2-0 now for one Lance. I love that name, Lance. I had a cat one time that I named Lance. Anyway, Steve Michalik looks excellent in this pose, taking nothing away from him, but Lance is just so much thicker and just as conditioned in my opinion. Alright, due to lack of front lat spreads and part of Steve here, but we're not going to ding him for that because Lance Dreher was absent with an ab and thigh, so he cancels each other out. So let's have a look at the side chest poses. And wow, what a couple of side chests these are indeed. Now, of course, Lance Dreher's is in another hemisphere than Steve's, but that takes nothing away from this classic 70s stance. You got to think here, Lance is more of an 80s guy, so he was more available. He had other things available, such as, well, never mind. But anyway, he has an advantage in this tournament, but I don't see anything wrong with that, because I think politics really punched a hole through this man over the years. He should have placed higher at those Olympias that he competed in. Terrible. Atrocious. Anyway, he is just flattening Steve here in the side chest pose. Wow! Does Lance look good in this? Anyway, let's have a look at the side tricep poses. Now, I would like to give this one to Steve. I really would. I appreciate his tricep alone a little bit better than Lance's. A little bit. But the conditioning there of Steve, it's not really up to par compared with Lance Dreher's. Lance is just in another level as far as that's concerned. So, like I said, I'd like to give Steve this one, but nothing doing. Lance is just steamrolling himself right into this tournament. Anyway, let's have a look at the next pose. And it looks like we're getting into the back shots. And here in the front double bicep and Kel Surprise. I'm actually giving this one to Steven. Steven's back development, in my opinion, is a little bit better here. Look at those biceps on Steve. Just incredible. He has much more detail in those lats. Maybe a little bit of a weak point in Lance, at least in the rear double bicep, as far as that pose is concerned anyway. But now let's take a look at the second and final of the back shots. This, the rear lat spread. And this one was a close one in my opinion. I am leaning just slightly towards the favor of Lance Dreher. He has perhaps a little bit more of a three-dimensional look there in the thickness of his back. It's hard to say, but it appears in this picture here. Steve, I will say, his lats are jetting out just slightly, a little bit more. But like I said, the thickness of Dreher. But I guess the reason why I am going with Dreher on this one is the outside of his delts, the rear delts there. They seem to be a little bit oblonged in Steve's back shot there, and a little bit better, the silhouette of Lance Dreher. So it is close, but we're going to go with Lance nonetheless. All right, let's have a look at the last pose. And with the anticipation just sucked right out of this one, Lance Dreher walks away with a big finish here in the most muscular. If you'll notice, his delts and his traps are just head and shoulders above Steve Michalik. So Steve gave us, he gave us his best, and it just wasn't good enough to beat Lance Dreher. But Lance Dreher, among the greatest of his time. But anyway, here is your winner of this challenge round, Lance Dreher. will now await the challenge of another challenge round winner to do battle in the Gladiator round.